Hi, this is John and welcome back to Mr. America Heart. Today, the question is, if you're natural, do you need to do more work to make progress in the gym, to increase your muscle mass, or do you need to do less work in the gym to increase your muscle mass? Here is the defining moment, let's say. If you're using nothing and you're on your natural hormone levels, you have a finite or a limited amount of recovery ability. You have a limited amount of protein synthesis that is going to occur between your workouts. That being said, how you can justify doing more exercises more often, digging a deeper hole in your energy subsystems, which again is limited, and your recovery ability is limited, is beside me. I don't know wherein you could justify such things. On the other hand, if you're using drugs, steroid, growth hormone, insulin, all of those, whatever bodybuilding drugs there are out there these days, by all means, you've now elevated your hormone levels to superhuman levels, much greater than the natural that's been given to you, and therefore, you're going to be able to recover a lot quicker between workouts. You're going to be able to have much greater protein synthesis between workouts. After workouts, you're going to absorb food in a more efficient way after workouts. All of that has to be taken into consideration when you're designing your own personal workout. I say all of this because it's important not to get caught up in training in a high volume fashion just because there were bodybuilders in the golden era back in the 70s, back in the early 80s, who were training 20 sets per body part, okay, that were in the magazines, the muscle magazines. All of the old timers today, they're in their 70s, will tell you that their bodies are literally broken from having trained in such a fashion. A lot of them have major injuries or remnants of injuries that they incurred to their bodies literally 40 years ago. And it happened during the higher volume of work. They weren't using steroids, most of them. Some did, their little cycle of Dianabol and all of that. But over time they found that there was a major occurrence of wear and tear on their bodies. If they weren't using drugs, they could not recover from the workouts they were doing. They thought their genetics were just not built for bodybuilding, and they didn't increase their muscle mass enough to compete. That is some of the assumptions and some of the summaries that these men have taken. I've talked to them myself. I've known a whole bunch of them from the golden era at the various gyms where I've been a trainer. And so I get it straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. I'm talking to the gentlemen who were there at the time. This all being said, if you are designing your workout right now, today, and you're interested in acquiring the most muscle mass that you can, and you are natural, start at the bare bones minimum. I've done videos, you'll see, I'll put some links down in the bottom, some great beginner videos. I've put together some great routines for beginners to get things going, basic routines that get things going, get the muscle mass started, stimulated. You don't need to jump into the deep end of the pool as a rank beginner, and you don't need to do 20 sets per body part just because Arnold did it, just because golden era bodybuilders did it. These guys were using drugs, okay? I'm just saying it, okay? They admit it. They were using drugs. So the authors of these workouts that are of a very high volume, the authors of these workouts that involved a lot of work, 6 days per week, which still seems to this day to be the general standard in the general population with no consideration given to recovery and the growth cycle after they've supposedly stimulated the muscles to grow. Those guys were using drugs. If you're using drugs, by all means, go by their standard. If you're not, that's the dividing line. That's where you have to look to some of the best natural bodybuilders in the world. Look towards them Find some of the natural websites that are out there. Find some of the natural bodybuilders that are out there. Check their workouts out and see how they train. And you'll see there's a lot less volume involved in almost all of their workouts. If they're doing a large number of sets, they're generally reducing the amount of time to get those sets in. So it's not a 2.5 hour workout or a 2-hour workout that they're doing. If they're doing a lot of work within a certain workout, generally they're not doing it 6 days per week. Pre-contest may be one thing, but in their off season, that's not the case. They can't recover from it. So, bottom line message today, look to some of the people that have not been using drugs if you're natural. Look to their routines. I've written 2 books on it. You can check out my books, Mr. America Shape Up Series, and then also Physique 101. You can check those out, and they give you some good routines as well. They're available on download or paperback. You can find them online. I'll put the link up in the bottom over here. But that's it. So think about, use the information coming from the same platform as your own, and then go from there in designing your own workout. Keep in mind, you're the one going to have to live with that body of yours for the rest of your life. You want to take care of it. You want to be healthy. You want to be injury-free and still acquire as much muscle mass as you can. That's it for today. From my heart to you, John Hart. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, do you want John to be your personal trainer? Get your training and diet managed online by Mr. America himself. Go to MrAmericaHart.com. It's in the link right here below in the video's description.